asking you earlier, your comparison between a cosplayer who builds their own costume and a costume designer who takes it an extra step.
It's really fascinating because there are so many different levels of that, and it's a continuum. It's not I am a cosplayer, I am a costumer. There are so many things in between, because I would say that a cosplayer is somebody who they want to get into a character, and it's a character that already exists, and even if it only exists in anime, they know what the costume looks like. And cosplay originally was from an anime sort of background, is really where it came from. Well, there are so many different stories about where the word cosplay came from. Well, and back then, we had hall costumes, which was the costume that you would wear in the hallways of the convention.
Oh, right.
And you would just, and it was comfortable, but it was still a character. And it was more often that at that point they were from books, as opposed to, so it wasn't like you weren't recreating a movie so much as like your favorite character from your favorite book.
Right.
Now you're recreating these characters from movies, you're recreating characters from anime, and so it is different because you already know what it looks like. And that's fine. But one of the things that I'm frustrated with at conventions these days is that your audience are only interested in characters they recognize.
Right.
So costumes that are Captain America or Thor get 1,000 times more attention than my really elaborate original design, because they don't recognize it.
Right.
It discourages original design because you just don't get the attention. And part of the reason that you're there in costume is because you like the attention. I like the attention.
Right.
But at the same time, I do original design almost all the time. So I'm trying to find that balance where, like I'm working on a Victorian Wonder Woman. Oh, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be a full-on Victorian outfit, but it's going to be Wonder Woman, and people are going to recognize it as Wonder Woman. And so I'm hoping that I'll get that, oh my God, this is amazing.
Right.
Because if I just do a Victorian dress, I'm not going to get the same response.
Right.
Then I miss old conventions.
Right.
In general. I miss a convention that was only in one hotel. I miss a convention where I can see my friends all the time. I miss room parties.
Oh God, yeah.
They don't have room parties at conventions anymore.
No.
And it pisses me off. I miss them. I want them.
I personally, and my friends have personally had encounters with some of our favorite authors.
Right.
And
yeah.
That's priceless. You will where else? Never at Comic-Con.
Never.
Ever. Because they all have handlers.
Yeah.
Or they're
you
hidden.
can't get close
they only
to them.
come in through the back and they go up to the...
You can't see them. Yeah, you have to pay an additional $50 just to see them.
Or get an autograph or... Yeah.
Right.
It used to be, you're walking down the hall and there's...
And you'd be like, oh, it's Mark Hamill.
Yeah, or Roger Zelazny.
Right.
If you're at one of the older cons.
My favorite... one of my favorite stories. I was 16 years old. And...
So it was like 3 years ago?
Yeah, about 3 years ago. Okay, this is going to date me because he's been dead for a while. And I'm walking through the convention, and I'm in costume, and it's this little sort of skimpy little thing, because it was a while ago. And and this guy comes up to me, and I recognize him. And he's like, "How old are you, dear?" And I said, "I'm 16. And he's like, oh, such a pity. And he kisses me on the cheek and walks away. It was Isaac Asimov.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. So, those moments do not happen anymore. No. And, then there was another favorite. And this is another Isaac Asimov story. A friend of mine very long time ago, because she doesn't do conventions anymore and hasn't for years and years. She was in a Princess Leia costume, and she's walking on the elevator, and this guy, Isaac, dirty old man, pinches her butt.
Oh, oops.
And so she turns around, and she's going to deck him. But as that happens, the elevator door opens, and Dave Prowse, a.k.a. Darth Vader, sees what's going on, picks her up, and carries her into the elevator before she can punch him. Those were the days!
That's never going to happen again.
No. You know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and there's this little tiny person dressed up as Princess Leia, and all of this is happening.
Being carried away.
Yeah.
By Darth Vader.
Another of my favorite all-time history stories was, this was at Chattacon years ago. And the hotel was not full of convention people. The hotel
has happened, yeah.
Yeah, and because there was two other people there with their entourages. Crystal Gale and her little posse of security was there. And so was not yet First Lady Barbara Bush.
Oh.
And but she was, so that was when Bush was vice president. And so she still had Secret Service with her. And this was back in the days that people still did blaster battles around the hotel. Possibly is one of the reasons why they don't do blaster battles around hotels anymore.
Right.
Because between Crystal Gale's security
and the Secret
Service, oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah. The good old days.
The good old days. I gave up on doing costumes at conventions a long time ago because
you're not a costume person?
Well, it's not so much that. I don't have that much creativity, for one thing. But also, it's enough gear, you know. It's enough to worry about the camera. You either got the camera around your neck, or these days I have a holster for it. But your bag, because you're not just walking around with one lens. You know, there's other stuff, and depending on how much stuff you want to carry with you, blah blah blah, and then to add a costume on top of that. Yeah. So generally speaking, I'll wear my hat. So I've got this hat that I got from the SCA.
Yeah, with a little tail.
Yeah, with a little tail. And the steampunk goggles that you made. I wear that everywhere. And I have been recognized outside of conventions because of the hat. Which is cool but scary. You know, some guy walked up, you work at the Ren Fair. Not really work, but I'm there a lot and I wear this. So, but that also makes it very easy for other cosplayers to find me, to see me.
Yeah.